of them. You're wasting all your time and money on models. Paint what you have.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Model Club TV, episode 62. Avengers Assemble. It's all three of us.
We can get Social Security now.
It's more like the Three Stooges than the Avengers.
There you go. Well, we have two co-hosts this episode, Scott Johansson and Brian Clark. Thank you both for joining me this time.
Yeah.
Scott, are you, is this
Let's get something straight right now.
All right.
Okay. You don't have two co-hosts. You have one co-host and a guest.
We have tri-hosts. I think it's tri-hosts.
Oh, God.
Well,
do that? Is that
we
a thing?
welcome our guest Scott back.
Hey, that's fine.
Oh, man. Scott, are you back permanently, Scott, or is this a...
This is a trial run.
to see
If you hear my wife choking out a dog in the background...
as opposed to choking a chicken? Yeah.
Look, what I've had to go through...
She's had to go through for all those years of being married to you.
That too, but what I had to go through to even make this happen.
Do you have to feed the dog sedatives?
No, the dog
Dishes?
is behaving.
Okay. That's good. Brian, how are you? How's your Sunday?
I'm okay. Just got my I was telling you guys before we started, my daughter whacked her head and she went back to school this afternoon, was putting her bed together, and she's got a little shelf off the side of her bed and whacked her head. So we're trying to see if she needs stitches, but everything's good.
Oh, man. Gushing blood?
There, the picture she sent, it was meaty but not bloody. I'll send it to you. You can put it in here. No,
I fully I feel her pain. I bumped my head filming the video that I'm trying to do for a thing live on camera yesterday. Bumped it on there. Nice little gash. Good times.
Where show it on that little knob
There's
that's
a
sticking
little
out there.
tiny piece of metal that sticks out right there. And I bumped it on there again.
Well, you think by now you would do something about that?
I'm going to put a piece of gaff tape on there. That's the plan.
I think we talked about that on Discord. When I shaved my head, it seemed like I was always hitting my head.
And you can't hide it then. It's just...
That's why. Yeah.
Oh, well. Well, let's get into it, guys.
That's why I keep my afro.
Your Shatner do? That's what it is.
My shat do.
Because you don't like anything after 1982. That's why you keep that hair.
That's right.
And we have our
up here.
Our on the air things from the Worthlings.
Yeah. See, the real hosts have these.
All right. So I want to say
mine's visible. By the way, notice mine's visible and you can read it, and you just stick your gifts up in the middle of nowhere.
It's the only way to do it. You can see.
How far back did you have to move your camera then, Scott, just to get both of those things in the
yeah. There you go.
15 feet back.
I want to start. I always forget every episode. Subscribe to the channel, please. Please hit like and subscribe. It helps us out quite a bit. We're getting closer. We're in the 740s, 50s, 40s.
Well, it ought to go up now that I'm back.
Yeah, it might. Or we might lose some. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Here's the voicemail. In the email, it is modelclubtv@gmail.com. And then the voicemail for the show, if you would like to leave us a voicemail. Now that Brian's here, we only have one person that calls in. 708-816-4299. 708-816-4299. And don't forget, we have the Redbubble and Teespring shops as well. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt or a mug, there'll be more stuff coming to those stores soon. All right, guys.
Discord
as well. Thanks for remembering.
It's on the screen.
Link
You should
is
be
down
reading.
below.
It's on the screen. You should be reading.
I don't have a Discord button.
No, but the screen where you have episode 62, intro, say subscribe, email, voicemail, Discord, shops.
And shops. There
but you didn't mention Discord.
No, because I forgot to look over there. Anybody watch a movie?
Of course.
What'd you watch, Brian?
I watched two. I watched Becky, which came out, I want to say 2 years ago.
What's that?
It's and I looked it up. They're already making a sequel to it, or there's plans. So it's about a girl whose mother dies from cancer. She's all rebellious and angry and all that. And her dad is Joel McHale. I don't know if you know him from Community. And he's going to marry someone else. So they're going to the house this lake house to spend time together, and their lake house gets invaded by Nazis, neo-Nazis.
Okay.
And one of the neo-Nazis is Kevin James from.
Oh yes, I've been meaning to watch this. Don't. Okay, good or bad?
Of course you have.
Well, I'm not gonna. I just. She turns into Rambo, which is my problem with it.
Okay, I heard that Kevin James does an awesome job. Like
he does.
Okay,
he's good. He's good, and the girl is good too. It's just the premise of these big giant neo-Nazi guy killing all the adults or whatever, but the 12-year-old girl can,
yeah.
But I mean, I didn't like run out of and get mad at myself for wasting time. It was just kind of you had to suspend a lot of belief for that one.
Okay. Did I ever tell the story about how I lost the corner of my tooth to a Nazi? No.
Was it Kevin?
You're gonna.
I'm missing the corner of this front tooth right here. I was at I think I was 16 because I was driving. I was in Valparaiso, Indiana, and I went to a local like punk rock show. And I'm used to being over here in where I used to hang out was all the sharp skinheads, the skinheads against racial prejudice. So they were like the black, Mexican, white skinhead guys that I was all friends with. And we were at that show with one of those guys. The Sharps? You don't know who the Sharps are, dude? You're from Chicago and you don't know who the Sharps are? Come on.
No.
But they would still go out.
I wasn't in a gay bondage traveling show either, so
they have their own box at every doctor's office.
But that was my problem with those guys too, is they would still go out like gay bad. I'm like, guys, what are you doing? Anyway, so I'm with one of those guys out at this show in Indiana, and it's Indiana. So of course, I've never really. The only 2 times I had actually seen Nazi skinheads was Milwaukee, and the other time was in Indiana, of course, because in Chicago that it doesn't fly. And so all the sharp guys would always go. Anyway, so we're at this mosh pit for this punk show, and these little Nazi skinheads start doing their Sieg Heil around the pit. And I didn't notice their friends that were off to the side corner, like over there. It was just these little guys in the mosh pit. And I'm on the outside of the mosh pit, and I just lay this dude out. Like, as he's doing his Sieg Heil, mid Sieg Heil, just laid him on the floor. And he hit the ground and rolled to the other side of the pit and bashed into these other guys. And I went, uh-oh. Like, I just knew I had threw him too far. And so I turn around and start walking. 3 of his friends grab me and throw me up into this wall. And they're like, dude, and they were all shorter than me. They're like, if you ever do this again, we're going to kick your ass. Next thing I know, I'm like, oh, why is there sand in my mouth? So the little dude that I had knocked to the floor had run up, jumped over his friends, punched me in the mouth, and then ran away. And by the time I was like, came around to realize what had happened, I looked for him because I knew who had hit me. And he's hiding behind these. I was 16. This guy had to be 30. Like the way I remember him. These other, like the older Nazi skinheads over in the corner. And I'm like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. So I was with like 3 other guys. And this girl comes up to us and they go, you guys got to go. And we're like, what? Why? Like, they got a gun. They're planning on shooting all of you. So you should probably leave. And I'm like, we're out. And we just bolted, fishtailed out of Valparaiso. Not to come back. That was my Nazi skinhead story. They were the other ones were the hammer skins. We're going on skinhead lore. Anyway, those are the Milwaukee skinheads. The Sharps were Chicago.
Favorite, the foreskins.
All right, what was the other movie you saw, Brian?
X. It's
how was that?
It was good. It kind of has a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. It's got that kind of feel and tone to it. Just this. Do you know what the premise is behind it? Mm-hmm. I know Scott does.
Yeah, I do.
No, it's.
You can go over the premise real quick, but don't.
The 24th letter of the alphabet, as far as I know.
Wow, you counted.
That was quick math. That was really quick math.
You counted backwards. You used 26, 25, 30, 24. All right.
I still did it faster than you did.
I teach English. Leave me alone. The premise is that there's this group of friends. They get in a van and they're driving out to the country to film a porno because this one guy needs to make a lot of money. He's going to be famous, and the girl's going to be famous. And so they rent this like barn shed type thing from this old couple, and all hell ensues once the family realizes what's going on. It wasn't bad actually.
So thumbs up? Like,
yeah.
All right.
Thumbs up. It was again, Becky, I was kind of like, eh. You know, I wasn't mad. It wasn't like no, but this one, I like this one.
I heard good
What
things
was
about
the
that.
name of the porno going to be? Inspector Gadget?
We're gonna go over.
They have a name. They were doing like, it was like the 70s thing, man. Inspector Gadget didn't exist yet. They're like all of the hippies and all that. It's kind of,
Scott, do you remember Buzz's Porn Emporium?
Jason, I don't. Okay,
because do you remember Jonathan Brandmeier?
Yes.
Right? Okay, so they used to have Buzz's Porn Emporium. Buzz, his co-host Buzz, where people would call in the radio show with their fake porn titles. You don't remember that bit that they would do? It was some of the best. Oh. Anyway, Chicago people will know, other than Scott, because he doesn't.
Buzz was in Silence of the Lambs.
He was. He was one of the cops.
No, he was not.
Or paramedics. He was one of the paramedics,
yes.
right? Yeah. When they
Yes.
brought the cop out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it was really Hannibal that they brought.
Yeah. When he put the face.
Spoiler. Come on.
Oh yeah.
When he meat faced.
Scott, did you see any movies?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I did.
Uh-oh.
We're rubbing off on him. I'm rubbing off on him.
Look at this. Let's go, Scott. What'd you see?
So, my wife starts watching this last night, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching this. Okay.
So then you didn't watch a movie.
But because of the dog situation, and you have to understand, my wife is losing her hearing. So, when I'm in the kitchen with the dog, and she's in the family room, which is right next to it, I'm listening to the movie no matter what. So I'm watching half of it. Okay. So she's been watching this George and Tammy, George Jones, Tammy Wynette story.
Oh, yeah.
And she discovered the actress in there played Tammy Faye Baker. So she wanted to see this. So she watched this Eyes of Tammy Faye. And it's the Jim and Tammy Faye Baker story. Okay. And I don't care if you're religious or whatever, but if there is indeed a hell, these people are going to fucking be the first they're going to be like the bottom coal of the fire that keeps it hot forever. Okay. And all these fuckers. I remember my, my first ex-wife.
Wait, how many do you have?
Well, the second one's in the other room.
Oh.
But the first ex-wife, I'll pay for that if she hears that.
Yeah, you're gonna get in trouble.
So her mother used to watch Swaggart and send him money.
Oh my god!
And when he got caught, man, I was merciless on her. I'm like, how much you sending him this week? You sending him bail money? and Swaggart was the best because he got on TV crying.
I remember that.
I remember watching his whole bit just because it was hilarious.
Yep.
Okay.
When he got caught, wasn't he crying like, I have sinned?
Yep.
Yes,
yep.
I have sinned. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. But you know what? Both of those guys still got back into TV evangelism.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And people were still dumb enough to send them money. Okay. And we can't get 1,000 subscribers. Okay.
Yeah. What are we doing wrong? We have to promise eternal savior.
We're not preaching the gospel. Okay.
You know what we got to do is there's a guy on late at night, and he's got to be. Sometimes when I can't sleep, I'll come across. I don't know his name or anything, but he's about 95 years old. And he's got jet black hair, so obviously it's all natural. And he sells whole like water that he has blessed that will cure everything.
Oh yes, we used to crank call that guy.
Oh, he's awesome.
We would crank call that dude and like talk to the operators about the water. Oh my god.
Oh, dude, all those guys. That Benny Hinn, did you ever see that guy?
Oh yeah, yeah.
When he's like healing the people on stage and all that shit.
It's all real, man. It's all real.
My other favorite is this Joel Osteen with his fake ass smile and his $500 suits.
Yeah.
All right.
Telling you to send him money.
Close to people. All right. We love these TV evangelists. They're the best.
I don't.
They're the best. I hope they rot and burn in hell.
Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of hell,
Hell is real.
speaking of, that's a great sign for the people that drive down 65.
We have it here too.
Oh, you got one of those too? Good.
Outside of Cleveland, yeah.
Speaking of the devil and hell, I watched Possession, which is a film from 1981, and it's been like nearly impossible to find streaming or playing anywhere. It's got a very young Sam Neill, who looks like he's right out of high school almost. That's how young he looks. But it's one of the better films I've seen in a very long time. So if you get a chance, get Shudder for the free trial and watch Possession. It's kind of dated with the acting just because it's 81. It feels very 70s, early 80s kind of, but it's got some of the creepier, kind of Lovecraftian devil. I don't want to ruin anything. It's really good acting and really well done. The other thing I started watching is the Ultraman show on Netflix, which is animated, and it's a sequel to the original series, and it's good. Like I kind of like it's really well done, which is shocking. So check that out if you're an Ultraman fan.
Did you watch the He-Man remake when they brought that out, Revelations or whatever? Yeah, you didn't like it? Yeah.
No.
Why
Did you
not?
see any of it?
Watched all of it. I liked it. It was good. It got better.
I stopped after that first season. I didn't watch the second season.
It got better. Once
What's on your mug today? Well, so you didn't get a Model Club TV mug that you're trying to hawk everyone else to buy, but
It don't matter. It's Carl from Aqua Teen.
they got a movie coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's out. I think.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
it's
never
out.
watched.
All right.
I'm trying to think if I've watched anything else.
Anything?
No.
All right. Well, we're going to get into the giveaway, but we're going to change it up a little bit. The giveaway is going to be here. All right, it's time for the giveaway. We recorded earlier than we normally do, just so that we could get Scott and Brian on the show at the same time because of scheduling. But I did want to leave a little bit extra time for people to get their entries in. Didn't look like that many more people entered, but we have some people that want to get those lost kits brought to us by Titan Find. So if you want to get some of your own, the information's down below in the description. I'm going to go ahead and spin this wheel, and we will give some really cool Super Deformed kits from the TV show Lost Away. So here we go. Spinning. I'm going to hit, I've hit shuffle a couple times already. I'm going to hit it again just to be safe. Everybody look, there we shuffled, and we are spinning. Let's see who gets those kits from Titan Find of the Lost Show. It looks like Dan Cherney. Congratulations, Dan Cherney. Longtime fan of the show. Thank you for all your support and things you've sent over the years. I'm glad this is going to a good home. So great job. Thank you, everybody, for watching the giveaway. Take care. Get back to the show. News and reviews, everybody. News and reviews. I'm going to start with Adepticon. This happened today. So registration for Adepticon was today. Today is the 8th of January, and it did not go very well. It was a shit show. The website crashed from the second everyone started trying to log in. I'm very happy that Wonderfest doesn't have to deal with something like this. But this show is so huge that so many people are trying to get in at once to register for 5 days of classes and events. And so the way they have it set up through a private like event site that you have to go through and then select everything. And that site instantly crashed and was kicking people out, and everyone kind of lost. It took me 30 minutes to finally not get an error screen. I did get in to one class, so I'm really excited that I get to go. I'm registered for a class with Ben Comets, one of the most amazing painters ever. So I'm super excited for that. And it's a class on non-metallic metal. So trying to paint metal to look like metal without using metallics. So, and then another like Games Workshop painting class. So if you're interested in Adepticon, it's huge. Registration is open. Almost everything is already filled in. So I went and looked. All the classes are pretty much filled up already, but you still can just register. Your badge comes with a model contest entry. If you get at least one for every category, I think it is. So the badges are $50 to get in. If you want to just go to Adepticon and not participate in any of the events or the contest or anything like that, it's free. You can just go into the vendors area and not have to pay for anything. If you just want to go and observe games, you don't have to have a badge. So it's great if you just want to check out the show and see what it's all about. It's in Schaumburg, and the dates are coming up. It's in March 22nd through the 26th this year. So
Schaumburg is in Illinois, in case anyone's wondering.
yeah, oh yeah, Schaumburg's Illinois.
That's all gaming stuff, right?
Yeah, it's all miniature wargaming. It's not Dungeons and Dragons. There's some of that, but it's mostly miniature wargaming. So you have Warhammer stuff, you have Mantic games, you have BattleTech, you have Song of Fire and Ice from Cool Mini or Not. You have tons of just the Star Wars Armada games, like all of that, like tabletop wargaming stuff. That's the convention for this, and it is for the people that have never gone. I can't like. It's the biggest show I've ever been to, and it's enormous. And I know George from Blackheart goes, Badger goes, some other companies go. There's a lot of paint vendors, hobby supplies, all that sort of thing. So if you're interested in anything hobby related, it's a great place to just kind of check stuff out and pick up some new stuff. So Adepticon, check it out is what I was trying to.
You'll have your Blood Bowl stuff ready to go by then?
That's my plan, to enter the contest. So they moved the Golden Demon Awards to this contest.
Golden Demon Awards.
The Golden Demon is the prestigious Games Workshop like painting contest. It used to be Crystal Brush at Adepticon. And so that was it was anything could go. So now this is, and some of the vendors have their own little hobby contests on the side, but now it's an official Games Workshop Golden Demon event, which is the only one here in the States. And
we should have the Model Club Brown Turd Award. and wait, now hear me out.
We could do that at Wonderfest. It's not going to fly.
Okay.
All right.
And you give it to the worst kit. Okay.
That'll make someone feel great.
The person that like had no business entering that kit. Okay.
The Brown Turd Award. We'll keep that on the back burner. But I have never been able to enter a Golden Demon. It's been my dream since I don't know, 8th grade, 7th freshman year.
You have goals in life, I'll tell you.
I don't even want to win. I just want the certificate that says I was in the contest, like the receipt, to be like I was actually in the Golden Demon contest, and I will get blown out. There's no way I'm gonna come close to anything, but I want to do that. So anyway, painting contest talk. All right, let's take this. New kit, we have this Ash. There's 2 versions, 2 kits. You have the Evil Ash, the Deadite Ash versus the regular Ash with the tape recorder. Brian, where'd you find these?
Facebook, like everything, on MJH Sculptures. I saw it and I thought that the Evil Ash was fantastic.
Yeah, it is good.
Pretty good likeness.
And I'm liking the other one.
They're both really well done.
Yeah, they're both well done.
Andrew Copeland is a sculptor, available from Dave Nicholson. PM him on Facebook if you're interested. I really like both of these.
The Ash one, though, the regular, it looks a little off to me. I don't know why.
The sculpture to me
Maybe
looks better than the ZBrush paint job.
That could be what it is. It's the ZBrush, yeah.
But no, those are really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, did
Bruce
anybody see
Campbell,
the
it don't
trailer
have to
for
be
the
good.
new Evil Dead?
I haven't seen it. I've seen it's out, but I haven't watched it yet. What is it, Evil Dead Rise or something?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Did you like when they redid the Evil Dead? Did you like that one?
I liked it as not an Evil Dead thing.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Like Evil Dead should be comedy.
It was
Horror.
The first one wasn't really comedic.
The first one wasn't, but when they kind of shifted, it's what it turned into.
Yeah. When she cut her tongue with the knife, that was pretty gross. It was good stuff.
You ever date a girl with a split tongue? I'm trying to remember if I did.
No.
No.
I've been with my wife since I was 16.
Oh,
buddy.
that's right.
Yeah. Dude, he don't go to gay bondage bars with neo-Nazis or sharp Nazis or whatever you go to. Okay. The man is a good
nobody
just
all right.
He's a good husband, father, role model. Okay. He's not the art teacher with the 15 earrings and the fucking Nazi fucking symbol on the back of his head. Okay.
That's funny
Wait,
you
what are
say
you
that,
talking
'cause
about?
that's what Kevin James has in that movie. He has a big, huge swastika.
On the back of his head. Oh man! All right, I got to see that. It's been on. I think it's on my Amazon list. All right, the Worthlings and Pestilence Labs are sponsoring the actors from Land of the Lost to come on in. Something new for Wonderfest, which is kind of good. Meet Will and
notice how
Holly
Mark
actors. Wesley,
left
you're
Shanna's name off of here.
what?
How Mark, the egomaniac, left Shanna's name off this ad. Okay. I mean, I don't want to start anything.
I'm not touching that.
Okay,
You can
but
say that.
okay.
But Wesley
that I
Gear and Kathy
follow-
Coleman will be at Wonderfest this year. Wonderfest 23.
When did
And-
Land of the Lost? When did that mess start?
60s, wasn't it? No, 73, 74.
I was 1 in 73.
I just
it came out.
never did it for me. Land of the Lost.
I loved it.
That shit lost me after HR Puffin stuff.
No,
You know
Land
what
of the
I-
Lost was a great show. What are you talking about?
I like the Great Space Coaster. Did you
Great
guys have
Space
that?
Coaster was great.
Get on board.
Gary Gnu.
There's no news.
Canoe? What's canoe? I don't know.
So
What's
wait,
canoe
Scott,
do?
did you watch that?
What?
Great Space Coaster? Or are you too old?
No, that probably was after my time.
Yeah, that was
watching.
Yeah. You're not a Land of the Lost person, really?
No, I'm not. Land of the Lost. The people that are nuts for the slee stack. I've never seen anything that looks so stupid in my whole life.
They were creepy as hell.
So
I never
Scared the
got
shit
into
out
it.
of me. I love
that
'em.
being said, that all being said, it is nice to see something different at Wonderfest, and which leads us into what Mark is doing for this appearance as well, which is this.
You want to talk about it? Lacely sculpted.
And yeah, well, I don't know the characters, so you can talk.
So it's Holly and Will. It's a tribute bus, kind of like what George was doing there for a while. That kind of has like a whole bunch of stuff in one piece. So it has the dinosaurs that are on there. It has a slee stack on the back, and one of the what's the little wild boy's name?
Chaka.
Yeah. In there with one of the plinths, not plinths. My brain is broken. Monoliths. Like the monolith, like cave, like with the slee stacks would go into.
I will say this. You mentioned George that did this. And the first person I ever saw doing something like this was Brent Armstrong. Did that Jack Pierce piece.
Yeah.
That he sold through Janus. And you guys probably didn't mention this because you didn't know, but Brent passed away.
You did?
I want to say about a month back. Yeah. And
didn't know.
No, I know. I know, and I wasn't here to mention that, but yeah, so Brent was the first one that I saw kind of do this, and George kind of, went with it as well. George actually had the rights to the Pierce piece for a while too. I do have one. But yeah, I did like this idea when this started becoming a thing. I did like the way they incorporated stuff like this in the base.
Yeah, it's sculpted by super talented Lacely.
And that's what I liked about it. Also, was the bass. Not liking the show. Like I never watch a show, but the bass is really cool. It's really cool.
How could I be the only one?
But I understand. One of you guys had a crush on this girl.
I did. Oh my God, Holly, are you kidding me?
Okay, I never watched it, so how could it be me?
Yeah, it was me. I loved Holly, man. I was all like, I had a huge crush on Cindy Brady, Holly from Land of the Lost, and Dorothy.
You know what? Maybe at Wonderfest we'll take you over and we'll get you a picture.
I've seen them. They've been at this. They do this 24-hour flea market here, and they'll have like old like 60s and 70s TV show people like vegan. So they were there.
She's gonna love being referred to as old. Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you, looking at this picture, if that's her old, she's aged well. So
better than I.
Better than all of us.
Yeah. All right, well, Scott, you want to bring us up to date on Well Winter?
I just hope that, when she meets us, in the Model Club celebrities, that she can keep her hands off of me.
Oh, my
God. Because Ryan has a hard enough time.
Yeah. That's just because I'm trying to get by you to go somewhere else. You take up so much room.
Well, I can't help it. You take up both sides of the aisle.
All right. Well, winner. Scott, give us our well winner update.
Well, winner, the maker of our great shirt. Still waiting on our kit though. There's a few new pieces out. And this first one is the Tijuana Toads, which I have no idea what they are. Do you guys?
Nope. No idea.
I remember watching it. I can't tell you anything about it, but I remember, like, I think the tall dude, I don't even know their names, the storky looking thing. I think he
Mhm.
talked real slow, if I remember, like with the southern drawl type of thing. But
Okay.
yeah,
Just the idea of the Tijuana Toads and the hats makes me wonder if this isn't a very politically incorrect cartoon.
I'm sure.
these days.
I'm sure. I always have my students when they go to Mexico. I've talked some of them to bring me back those. Is it down here? Those stuffed frogs. I think they're up there. You know what I'm talking about? When they go to Mexico, the stuffed frogs playing guitar.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that.
That one up there. I love that. It reminded me of that. So the Tijuana Toads, many pieces actually.
Then we have Jenny, who
What
is
that?
what is it? Was it the Kidettes? Yeah, the Space Cadets. And again, I don't remember this either, and this was around my time. But yeah, I don't but he's got the whole series of these. And then let's talk about the Jetsons.
I think everybody knows what that is. So,
And this is awesome. This is an awesome piece. And then he sent me a base. You can light the base. He actually made it so it's hollow. You don't have to hollow it out. It is hollow. So you could put a light in there if you wanted to. And there's going to be, I should have put the pictures here. Maybe if I find them, Jason, I'll send you.
okay.
He's going to do the maid, Rosie the maid, and Mr. Spacely as well. And I think they're going to attach to the space somehow.
That's pretty
And,
cool. That is a nice, like, just compact. It's the Jetsons.
Yep.
Like, movie poster style.
So that's
Well done,
he's you guys have featured some of the stuff I bought from him. I'm still printing his stuff
for a lot of people, huh?
For various people, so it's keeping me from eating dog food right now.
And then coming up from Pseudoverse and CG Blade, he's doing again a lot of 3D prints over on his Etsy shop, and he has Kutan as one of it. It seems like he followed along all the ones I suggested here on the show. But he has stuff from Kutan coming out. This girl on this futuristic bike. He has Barbarella, which is the same as that Ladati one that came out many years ago that I did for AFM.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same from that Frazetta poster. So he did a couple other Frazetta pieces as well. So he has the one with the fish, and he has this really nice. And again, if you want any of these kits already printed, head over to CG Blade's Etsy shop. But if you want to buy them on your own and print them yourselves, you can also go over to Kutan on CG Trader to print them on your own. And he has this really, really nice. I forget what the painting this was from, with the tree and the girl was standing on the serpent. I love that. Really nice. And then he also has the stuff from We Make Monsters, The Haunting of Bly Manor, Blackula, Black Mass, which is another Netflix show, Salem's Lot. Lots of stuff headed over there. And then he also has these they almost look like little miniature figures. I don't know how big they are, from The Fly. And he has some from Blade Runner as well. So it says they're 1/6 scale. That's pretty cool. There's not many 1/6 scale full Blade Runner figures. So CG Blade, head on over to his Pseudoverse. Pick those up. I think he does them multiple sizes as well.
I think he does like 1/6, 1/4, and 1/8.
Yeah, something like that.
4 sizes, yeah.
And then for Monstrous Masterpieces, Brian, you want to talk about this Batman?
Yeah, it was just again, it was, going through and looking for stuff, and I think it is the Batman. Is that the Val Kilmer? I think that's the Val Kilmer.
I think it's this one is just the regular Batman on the
Oh,
bust. Yeah.
okay, I got you. Let me
The comic style one.
Yeah. Yeah. Same thing. Yeah, I was just going through. Yeah, this is cool. This is really cool.
When I was reading, I think he said it's 1/6 scale, but it's still really big based on with the base and the cape. So
Yeah,
I got that.
and the I like the batarang is the base. That's pretty cool. And look what he's doing with his hands, guys. So he's covered up the symbol on his chest, so you don't have to worry about it being engraved or to
If you
stick
got the
out.
shakes, you don't have to worry about painting a nice little suit.
Don't fucking start.
No,
Okay.
I'm just saying it's covered. No, I'm saying it's all covered up, and I know
I hit one button. I could have you out of here. Okay.
it's all right.
Don't start.
It's all good. But I just thought it was very much more of a comic book version, and it
Yeah.
just pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And then Brian, Vengeance Studios, the Jaws piece.
Yeah, how cool is that? That is, we got Bruce there.
It looks very fake Sharky.
Yeah, but you know what? He put just this morning I saw when I was going through, he changed it. And I meant to get a picture to you and I didn't, but he's got it with Quint in his mouth, like biting him now. So I don't know if it's gonna be just the Jaws, the shark without Quint, or if you have to get them both, like you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but he does have one with Quint in his mouth now too. So I like this. And he's got a Daredevil and a Kingpin, I'm sorry, from a few months ago. I keep wanting to order. I need to get on that too.
He has a lot of really nice stuff. And this Joker that he has coming out. Did you guys see the Joker?
Yeah. I like the Joker.
It's got to. I like the Joker too. It was a good movie.
I think as teachers, we understand mental health issues.
Yep.
I do. I mean, seriously, like I'm watching that and I'm like, I know a kid just like this, you know?
Yeah. Totally. And that's, I'm watching the Dahmer series now too. And there's parts like that where you're so mad at the father mad at his dad for him basically saying like, there's something wrong with me. I need help. And everyone just ignores him. But as far as this character goes, it's a great pose. It's a great part from the movie. It'd be fun to paint too. And then this is Atreus from the new God of War game. Boy, if anyone has played God of War. And that's really nice. These are from his Patreon. These are his current Patreon pieces. So we have Boy from God of War, and then we have the Val Kilmer Batman.
Yeah.
Well, it's a really nice piece.
I haven't played God of War. I played the first one up until you had to do some swimming and I couldn't get past it. And I was like, I got mad and stopped. That's only happened in a handful of times.
The original God of War, the Greek God of War, or the new one?
The original one.
Okay, yeah. So this is from there's the new one where God of War has switched to Viking land. And so this plays one of those. It's one of those characters. There hasn't been a lot of Val Kilmer Batman kids, has there?
No, I don't think so. And why?
There's a reason.
And why might have one?
There is a reason. There was the Revell. Like, was it Revell that put those vinyl ones out?
Yeah, John Dennett sculpted those, I believe.
But that's a nice piece. Vengeance Studios, everybody. Patreon, and he does sell those kits on the side as well. Yeah. So Shadow Creations has this coming out. Anybody know anything about this?
I saw it and I was like, it reminds me of the
teaser, I'm thinking.
Yeah, it reminds me, if this is what the kit's going to be with the Boris Karloff reaching through the mirror, it reminds me at Wonderfest this year, was it Sleeping Beauty or Snow White with the
That's a really cool kit. Side. Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of that when I saw it. And I was like, I don't know if I would buy this only because I don't think I could do it justice, but I think it's a pretty cool looking thing. It's a cool idea.
I was there. I was the same place with that kit. It was like, I would never buy it. Well, first of all, it was really expensive. Well, you could buy it either way. So you could buy it, if I remember right, you could buy it with just the Snow White half or the other half. Or you could buy both and put them together, like the one that was at Wonderfest. And
well, I'm talking about this one. I don't think I could do this one justice.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, I would jack that up.
It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. If it is like a bust with both of those with a mirror in the middle, that would be kind of
it's cool. I really like the idea.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I could do it.
And it falls kind of into that category again. It's not just the monster, it's the actor and the monster, just like the Stan Arts piece from last week, The Bride. It's cool to see these kind of going in a different direction than your typical monster pieces.
Yeah, I think at this point they're kind of,
It's tapped
I've
out.
got the iconic. Well, I've got the iconic. I'm not there yet because I haven't been doing this as long as you guys.
Yeah.
But the iconic ones, I've got number 3 on the way here pretty soon, and he announced that 4 is coming, and I like those. Those are cool. And I think once you have those, do you need anything else from the monsters?
Right.
To be honest with you, because they really are cool scenes and they're well done. So,
And that's kind of where I'm at. Once you find that perfect piece, it's like, whereas Scott takes them all.
well, the difference is though and not trying to be funny, but we put them together, and so it's harder to display them. You know what I mean? He's got them tucked away, and it's easier to have that. And I'm not trying to be funny, Scott. I'm really not.
I saw
That's a good thing.
Did you guys see? I have to go back and find the picture. I don't know who I saw it on one of the boards. Somebody had their whole plastic model kit collection.
Yes, I saw it.
Who was that? Because I want to give them credit.
It was somebody that's selling though, right? Was he?
No, but they had their shelf and they had the plastic kit with the box behind it for every single one.
Oh, I'm not sure.
That's
it was pretty cool.
They must.
No, but when you talk about the perfect scenes and all that, and Brian mentioned this, we're going to talk about this in a little bit. Why we buy and what appeals. So we can touch on that a little more.
Cool. Scott, Tony's new sculpting class.
Tony's new sculpting. Now it's called Sculpting Superheroes for Action Figures. But it's available. We'll have to put the website on here.
Right there. And down below.
But there's a pre-order sale on it now. I don't know how long it's going to last. I think it's $25 right now when we're filming. So it's going to be a while still because I talked to Tony today. He still hasn't filmed it yet. So but it is coming.
It's coming soon.
Yeah, and I think he said it's going to be about 20 hours total. So
$4 an hour. That's not bad. Isn't that what it is? $4? I don't know.
Not
No, that's a buck an hour.
No, it's a buck an hour. Fucking English teacher and art teacher, but whatever. So
I just divided it. I figured I was close.
And then this next piece I found, Steve Park, always paints beautiful stuff. But I saw this today. This is a Raquel Welch kit. I think Paul puts this out, right? This Raquel Welch.
Yes, this is a Gilman production.
And I just looked at this paint job that he did on this, and it's like, wow.
It is a very nice paint job.
Wow. It just, and the thing is, I saw the sculpt when it first came, and seeing the sculpt and then seeing it painted right, you can really see, to me anyway, that pretty sure it was Jeff that did this. Just really nailed the likeness here. Yeah. I don't know. I looked at that and go, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
So,
it is a really good paint job. I didn't see it. I'm glad you found this because Steve, blocked
this is the reason I don't
me.
paint, because I look at this and just want to throw everything away.
But see, that should be the opposite. It should be inspiring you to try and achieve that.
So, I mean,
that's kind of what our topic is. That leads into a little bit too. That's a piece of it because.
And then this was posted. This is a painted prototype of the X Plus Creature styrene kit coming out.
That's coming soon.
So hopefully that's coming soon.
So Yoshi put up all these pictures, and you put up this one Revenge of the Creature picture. But in all these other ones, I wanted to highlight one or two other things that were in there. And there's another unpainted version of this creature. I'm not sure if we've ever showed it on the show, so I want to make sure people kind of see it up close a little bit. And then the Vampirella piece that's coming out from X Plus.
Yep.
And he did some of these. There's the Star Ace ones that are here has the Cyclops, but it has a different head. Is this a plastic kit?
Yeah,
you
there's
look
a
at
plastic Cyclops as well.
But this one I think is different than so that's a different head than the Cyclops than the one we got. It's got 2 horns. Ours has 1. And it looks like that's a plastic. Is that the plastic one that's coming out
It's the vinyl kit with the other head.
with another
So,
head? Okay.
Cyclops had 2 different heads. There was a
Right.
double and a
So is there going to be another version of that coming? Is what I'm wondering.
maybe.
And then-
That's what I'm wondering. Hold on a minute.
So this big Cyclops bust. Any news on what this is? Like, what is
Yeah, I
that?
think you can get this through Sideshow now, I think.
Okay. And then there's a
Yeah.
troglodyte as well. I'm wondering if that's going to be.
A vinyl kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say this: the Mighty Joe Young does nothing for me.
That looks kind of weird. I'll throw that picture. I'll
It
get all these
doesn't
pictures
look
soon.
like the movie at all.
So Yoshi, thanks you for painting all these really cool things for us to see.
And yeah, the Dracula.
See
I
him
think the
doing
cat's out of the bag. That Tony's sculpting the Dracula,
Okay.
and he's having a great time.
There's a really nice singular point Godzilla as well, and I'm wondering what that story in this is. That's why I hate these pictures from Japan. No context. I have no idea what's happening in them. It's frustrating. Like especially that Jurassic Park T-Rex. Like what the hell is that? Who's making that? It says it's a 1/35th plastic model kit. So who's putting out that thing?
Probably X Plus.
And this Gamera? Man.
Could be one of those things that never make it over here too. you
Yeah.
know?
And this Ultraman looks fantastic as well. So it looks like they're all X Plus related. Star Ace X Plus. So hopes, fingers crossed. There's a lot of super deformed Gamera stuff they have too. But I'll grab a lot of this and put it up there. Some newer Godzilla stuff he's worked on. From Gilman Productions, he has William Paquette's boxer piece coming back out. It was a piece available through William before, and it kind of fell off to the side, but Paul's bringing it back. He had Mark Van Tyne make a really cool base, like simple crate base with some boxing gloves that go with it. And it is, if you're just into like anatomy and people and want to try different paint schemes and bruising and cuts, this is a great piece to try all that on. So you can get this through Paul at Gilman Productions. We'll have all that down there below.
Don't forget to hit the button.
Iron Jaw, Broken Nose, sculpted by William Paquette, based by Mark Van Tyne, quarter scale, available through Gilman Productions. And yes, I am going to hit the button. And of course, no button.
Come on,
There's
Jason.
the button. Paul Gill's
Together.
button works. Yay, the buttons are working again. Okay.
Together, Jason. You can do it.
Yay. All right. Thanks, Paul. We're onto the workbench. Do we have anything? Let's
Of course
start
I
with
do.
Scott. Scott, got anything?
Yeah.
Wow, what have you been working on?
So, as everyone knows, you start printing on your Saturn, and the first piece you print is this.
Yeah.
Well, I have finally printed on my Jupiter, and I printed the Jupiter one.
Oh, yeah,
So,
Rooks.
I have been printing with my Jupiter.
For yourself or other people?
No, for other people.
Okay. Have you done
And the
anything for
prototype-
yourself?
The prototype I did for someone, that announcement should be made soon, I think.
Okay.
And
Can you give a hint?
no.
Okay.
I don't know enough about it to give it a hint. Okay. So
Well, thank God you brought it up. That
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
this
thanks.
not,
Yeah, helps.
it isn't awkward at all.
No.
Sky Captain. I'll give a hint.
wow, what a jag.
Sky Captain. Something Sky Captain.
Guy captain. Yeah.
I'll just leave that in there.
I like that movie.
Anything else you've been printing?
Just more Hanna-Barbera stuff for you guys, and some more half-scale creature fossil hands from Mr. Worthling. So if you're waiting on one of those or want to pick up one of those, he's going to have 6 more coming in the mail.
Nice. Brian, what have you been working on?
Well, I got the Luke Man's Ever Closer. I got kind of see it. The blue shading is starting here.
Yep. I will say
You're
this, your pictures that you showed afterwards last time look a lot
Yeah.
better than the camera that shows up here. So if anyone
Yeah.
follow Brian over on Facebook, you'll see some of his work, better pictures than in here.
There's a more depth to it than it actually shows.
Yeah.
And I busted this guy out from. I'm gonna do work on this here soon.
Oh, nice.
What, Starlight, right?
Yep.
I believe.
Starlighting
Yeah.
projects. Matthew Lawrence.
And I'm gonna prime that up soon. And I started on the Flivver.
Oh.
I got the some
It's a pain in the
pieces
ass,
done.
isn't it?
It's
put
not a
together.
fun kit.
It is not.
Yeah. It's not fun.
Wait, bring it up a little bit. The body again. No, the Okay, yeah, it looked weird. The angle you were holding it looked like the arm was up higher. I'm like, did you reposition that? But no, that's
I don't have the mad scientist skills that you guys have. I just glue shit together the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of work, and I did finish the BB-8.
None of those monster rods are a joy to build, from what
You know, and I was saying to myself, I could, spend a bunch of time puttying it, and I'm not doing it. Just not going to do it.
Yeah, they're a chore. I
Once
will.
I have it done, but and then the BB-8 little mini diorama that I talked about last time, got that bad boy done.
Put it closer. I like that their kits come with those little bases in the backdrops.
I do too. That's nice.
They don't all come like this.
But the spaceship ones have like a little. They usually come with like a little like star
Piece of the
destroyer,
Death
like a
Star
little
or
base.
Did you paint the orange, or were those decals?
No, it comes like that.
It's like plastic. It's the molded color, right? Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay. Their stuff is. I don't know if you ever seen it. I got a sprue. I haven't. Their sprues have multicolors on one sprue.
Holy shit! I wonder how they do that.
Gundam does that too, like the Gundams.
And you'll have the orange. Sometimes, like the other pieces had like the orange on a side. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know. Yeah. I look at it whenever I open one up and go, I don't know how you do it. And I just put it. Someone smarter than me figured that out.
Nice.
But yeah, that's what I'm working on, man.
I could have been one of 80 billion people.
I'm working on the base. I started painting the base for the Snake Eyes kit. Still got that going. I'm working on my Blood Bowl dugouts still, which are coming along. If people know what Blood Bowl is, you'll understand. The lid, they turn into, here's the lid. And then they flip open to keep the scoring system for the back of the game there. So I have a lot going on with that stuff. And I've been printing a lot for myself and building and sanding and getting stuff going. But there's been a lot of little things happening, little projects. And I'm also working on some stuff for Mark Worthling that will be coming out here shortly.
Oh, can I give a hint?
Go ahead.
No, see, I'm not you. I'm not going to do it.
It's the Wink piece that he posted. So I have been working on some of the things for that. And I had to send those out to get cast.
Did you see somebody did a full size?
No.
From that, and
The
it's like all broken down into pieces. And it's on one of the STL things, I think, is where I saw it.
Yeah, so I've been working on the fair. I don't know if it'll be coming with those fairies or not. That'll be up to Mark once we figure out how to do them. But we're there. All right, our topic this episode, guys. Brian, go. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I was wondering, and it came from a time when I went to the iHobby Expo was in Cleveland one time back 8-10 years ago, something like that. And as I was walking through, they had some kits on display. And there was an Enterprise D from the Next Generation, which I'm not a big Star Trek fan, but I like the ships. So, and it was also the first place I had ever seen a big Frankie. But anyhow, on the top of the hull of the Enterprise D, the bridge, the saucer section, I guess you call it, someone had painted the Milky Way in our galaxy and all the planets and everything. And I was thinking, like, what is it for you guys? What is more important? Is it the staying true to the, we'll call it realism, the original piece, or artistically, would you rather something be artistic and out of the norm?
Scott, go ahead.
Oh, sure. Lay it on me.
I'm formulating my opinion. I'm trying to think.
So, to me, I think if there's reference material, especially color reference material, you try to stay with that. Okay, just for the, because to me that's what you do. But that being said, I think it was Matt Kay that did that pestilence creature in like blue,
I'll grab
and
that picture.
that thing was beautiful. Okay, so it's like I can't look at that and say, you know, it's different, but it's not bad, you know. I think if you're trying to appeal to somebody to buy something, I think you want to stay close to the original paint scheme. Now, and Brian, you and I talked about this prior. I've also seen Star Trek kits done like that. And I saw a Klingon bird of prey that was done like half of the bird of prey was painted like that, which to me made more sense because they were like cloaking type thing. So it made more sense on a Klingon. Why someone would do it on a Federation ship, I don't know, but I wouldn't say it's wrong. It's creative. So I look at it and go, if it's executed well, and I think it kind of goes back to what Jeff Camp does too. Okay, when you throw the fluorescent paints in or the bright colored paints, make something look two dimensional. Same thing. If it's done well and it's done right, it's cool.
Yeah.
And like, so when Matt did that creature in kind of that blue color, it's not the color I would have chosen. And I probably still would never paint mine that, but I look at it and go, that's cool. So it's,
I think,
so that's kind of where I am, if that makes sense. It's, if that answers the question.
I think it's kind of cool to use like what you're talking about, using one of those spaceships like as a canvas for something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you were to take that and then take that Enterprise and then paint the crew photorealistic, like Shatner and all the crew like on the top of the saucer, that could be really cool because you're using that piece as like a canvas or you're doing something else with it.
Shatner's never been on the D, you blowhole.
No, I'm talking like any Enterprise. Okay. Like you just take the Enterprise, you take the saucer section, and you paint the crew on there, but like a photorealistic, like as you're painting, and you can hang it that way. I think it all depends on what you're going for. Like no one could be mad at that. No one should be able to look at that and say, like what you said with the galaxy painted on there, just because it's just still is a space painting on a spaceship, which is cool to me. I think where it comes down for me is trying to make something look so real and getting hung up on that. Because nowadays there's people that can just paint a little 1/6 scale figure to look like a real person. And it's, do you want that? Like it's a doll at that point for me. It's not an artsy sort of, I painted this to give you this feeling or to create it to make it look like it's in this setting. And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about before with lighting and stuff. Like I get trying to make your monster look like the real thing from the movie and all that, but at some point it can be done, right? And so what's the fun in that is other than trying to make it match perfectly, like that's the skill set. Whereas taking that, like let's say it's Pumpkinhead and you want Pumpkinhead to look exactly like it was in the film. Are you trying to make it look like the suit, or are you trying to make it look like how it was in the movie with the moonlight hitting it or every little vein where it's supposed to be? But we also see, I'm trying to think other
but
things.
You can see people go over the top.
Yes.
I'm going to say it, over the top stupid too. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I walked in and saw that same creature kit and somebody painted it red, okay, I'd be looking at it going, you're not even fucking close. I don't care how beautiful it is. I could still appreciate a good paint job, but I'd be sitting there going, what the fuck are you doing?
I think that's what it comes down to too. If Matt K, let's use Matt. He's going to be our guinea pig. Sorry, Matt. We'll put Matt. If you use
Matt's a good guy, he'll take it.
Oh, he'll love it. If he painted it really bad, but used those same colors, everyone would be like, "What are you doing, dude?" Like that's what you're.
Well,
like,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
But he did an amazing job, so it works.
So why? All right. So if someone brings something to Wonderfest or a contest at all, it doesn't even have to be Wonderfest. You paint something up, and I'll be the first. You guys know I'm very hard on myself about my painting. I don't think it's great, but here's the thing: everything I build when I'm done with it, I love it. I put it on my shelf. I enjoy it. I look at it, and I really don't care what other people think. So,
Well, that's apparent by your looks.
I don't care. You're right. I really don't. I've given up a long time ago. Uh, but you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we building for? So
That's a good question.
Well,
and
yeah.
that's a different topic, I know. But if you're
No, but I think
building
that
for-
fits in here perfectly. Is what are we
Yeah.
building for? So keep going.
I mean, I build strictly for myself. I really do. And my wife will look at something. She goes, "Oh, that's cool," or like one of these days I'll show you the picture of the first Wonder. I did that Wonder Woman fighting the octopus. I think we talked about this or whatever. The first figure, and it is horrifying. It's one of the worst. I mean, when you guys see it, you're gonna be like, "What the heck?" And my daughter refuses to let me change it because it was a gift for her. I made it for her, and I did the best I could at the time. And but she loves it, and that's all that really matters. So, does it matter what we think about what someone else does if they're happy with it?
No, it doesn't. And I've said that about people all the time. And I have
I know who you're going to say. I know who you're going to mention.
I have a specific friend who he gets upset all the time because he's generally in the
and he watches the show. You could mention
certificate.
I think you could mention his name.
Bronze medal area. Okay. And the bad thing is he goes to a local IPMS show and they give him a gold because he's, the only one entering a figure kit. Okay. So he wins first prize. So he goes to Wonderfest and he gets upset. If you're building for a contest, that's a different ballgame. Okay. But you're going to make yourself crazy. And so I look at it and go, like I told you about the Raquel Welch. I look at that and go, I don't want to paint anything till I can paint that good. Well, I'm not going to paint that good till I paint something. Okay, so it's a
self-fulfilling defeat.
All right. That being said, exactly what you said. I paint it. I put it on my shelf. I look at it. It makes me happy. I like it. I had fun doing it. That's the important part. Okay. But if you try to mix those two and say, why isn't it winning? Okay. Then you're building for a different reason. Okay. You're building because you want to win something. Then you're building for a different reason. It's going to make you crazy. Now, if you want to be better, there's nothing wrong with that. But realize it takes time. Jason, what did it take you to win a gold? Like 20 years?
Pretty much.
No.
Pretty much.
So Scott, just I don't want to interrupt, but I'm going to. That being said, then why don't you paint? I mean, what you're saying is right. Everything you're saying is right. And if you're doing all these things that you love,
hey,
you have
do as I say, not as I do.
I'm just saying, like that Godzilla. That anytime someone's like, "Well, show us something you paint," you bust that thing out, and it's great, dude. And I don't. You've kind of gotten into what I called last time painting paralysis. It's. Look, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about what I really don't. I have that shelf, I jam them all on there. Come down, look at it, love it, hate it. I don't care because
I know I can paint well enough that most unexperienced people would walk in and ooh and ah. Okay. And I'm not, it's not that I'm tooting my own horn, but like you say, sometimes maybe even your wife walks down and says, that looks great. And you might look at it and go, looks horrible. Okay. But she thinks it looks great because she looks at it and said, I can't do that, or whatever. So I know for the most part, I can paint well enough that I put shit on my shelf. People are going to walk in. They're going to know what it is. It's not going to look like a 12-year-old painted it. Okay. One of my problems, and if we want to go through the list, we can, but I think we only have so much time. One of my problems too is just life in general. Okay. So it's like for me to take the time to do something for myself like that. Okay. But then I'm sitting here going, oh man, I should have cleaned the garage instead of done this. Okay. So I spend my life trying to get all my ducks in a row, and you never get them all done. And I am learning that.
Yeah.
Okay? I am learning that I need to just take the time, go upstairs. So what did I do? I bought a puppy so that I couldn't walk out of a room for 20 seconds. And so I want to.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if it was, I don't know. You guys could live next door to me and say, hey, man, let's just get together, sit at a table and work on our kits. I probably could walk over and do that. To sit and take the time on my own and just go upstairs where Jason's seen it. It's set up. It's a good setup. Okay. There's no reason other than it's just a mental block, and it's partial paint paralysis. Okay. But it's also, I have everything you need to do this. I have brushes, I have airbrushes, I have fucking spray booth, I have, I can cast resin parts if I need to. Now I have 3D printer. What else, Jason? I mean, it's all there. And it's just a question of, I'd much rather spend my Saturday nights talking to you meatheads.
Sunday, but go on.
But no, I meant last night. But like
Discord.
the Discord, you guys are all sitting there working on stuff. And now that I've gotten used to my laptop, there's nothing really stopping me from going up there, turning my laptop on, and working on something, except for the fact that now we had another child move back home, and that's the room she's going into. So now I got to move all the shit out of there. So it's, so it's like I said, it's always something. And
yeah, I get that.
I do too.
It's like, it's not like I have someone telling me, no, you can't go paint. The one that's telling me that is me. I'm the one that's telling myself, you can't do that. You have to do this instead, And a lot of times I'll say to myself, well, if I get this done today, and this done tomorrow, then man, I got this day free. I can go upstairs and do whatever. And inevitably I don't get all the work done in the 2 days. And so what's the least important thing? Well, to me, the modeling. So it's turned into a vicious cycle. And it's
I think everyone should make a conscious decision though, going in.
Mhm.
Are you doing this for fun? Are you doing this for a contest? Are you doing this for other people? Are you doing this to be popular on the Instagrams and Facebooks? Or like Brian, I think you got the right idea, is you do this for yourself. And if people like it, great. If other people don't like it, who cares? And
now what gets me though is no one really wants an honest opinion.
that is true.
Okay, so
well, no, if you're asking for an opinion, you should expect an honest opinion.
Absolutely.
If you're just putting stuff out there, like, hey, I painted this, and you're just like, hey, I paint, like, there's a difference, because in art, a critique's a huge thing. That's how you get better. Is people like when you go to art school, and I've had to do this in my sculpture classes. You take your thing you're working on, and I explain this to my students, and you put that in the middle of a table in front of every other student in the room, and everyone tears it apart and says, why are you doing this? Why'd you choose this color? Why'd you do this? You could do this better. You could do this better. You could do this better. This is really good, but this doesn't work. And you have to have that thick skin going in everyone wants to call themselves an artist in this hobby until it's time to do art stuff. And to be able to put their piece on a table and have everyone tear it apart without getting angry, I don't think half these guys could handle it. But they'll still call themselves an artist. But
you don't have to be mean with your critique either.
No, you have to be able to be, and that's what I teach my students, is there's a way to have constructive criticism. You need it. If you're looking to get better, and if you're one of those guys like the person you were talking about, he always asks us, like, what can I do better? And we tell him, you're mean about it sometimes.
I've told him, okay, understand, I've told him for 25 years.
I understand. But
and
it's like,
if I see him paint fingernails on a human figure white one more time, okay.
Well,
all right.
Like after this year's Wonderfest on Sunday night, again, I built for myself, and I was happy I got the two certificates of merit, I was excited. I really was. Because like I said, they were kits that I built. I like them. They're on my shelf. I'm happy. But I said, hey, Jay, come take a look. Just what do you think? I said, why did these get them and these didn't? And he gave me some advice. And honestly, since in 6 months, just doing what he's told me, I've seen my stuff like.
And that's what I mean. Like someone, you were willing to accept, like, hey man, what can I do to make this better? And I was able to pinpoint, like you said, just you need that bottom end of stuff. And people need to be willing to hear that. And I think there's a block that people have that, like, I'm great. No one can tell me different. And then they just keep painting the same way for the next 25 years. And they get frustrated when things don't get better. And it's just a matter of people have to switch their brain into I'm willing to accept. People don't want to be told bad things about themselves. It goes to everything. Like, you don't want to hear criticism like, hey dude, you're a dick most of the time, or you need to do this better. You're not doing your job. Like, it's hard because people, especially when it's modeling, because it's something you find fun. And when someone says, hey man, your fun sucks and it should be better, that's not the right way to tell somebody, because it can ruin
I would argue
everything,
I would argue that the trophy chasers are not doing it for fun.
No, and I agree. There's that side of it too, where it's like, but you're constantly bringing a trophy. Like, it's with me personally. Once I got that gold, I'm like, I'm done. I don't need to do this anymore. It was frustrating to me. But then you still have, like, I need a trophy. The constant, what is it? Gratification? Acknowledgement? Famousness?
I don't have room on my shelf for all the models I got. I certainly don't need trophies to go with them. Okay.
But yeah, and then, like, yeah, are you doing it for fun there too? To me, I don't know. Well, maybe that's fun to some people. I like arguing with people. That's fun to me. And people hate that.
Yeah.
It's a good, I think, and people down below in the comments below, leave us your thoughts too. It's such a weird hobby to.
Well, and like, I have pet peeves, like raised emblems on superhero kits, flesh colored Frankenstein kits. All right. and there's people that would make the argument he would be a dead flesh color, and I can't argue that they're wrong. But I always like to see the green and the yellow in there. It just, to me, makes it pop. But see, there's no definitive answer on that. Okay. And that if you wanted to paint it like the makeup, you'd be painting it like a blue-green, because that was the actual color of the makeup.
Or like a Herman Munster type
Yes.
color.
But that goes back to the original thing. Are you trying to paint it to look like the movie? Or are you trying to paint it to look like something else? Like,
well, it's funny.
What's the safest bet there? Paint it in gray tone, black and white and gray tones. There's your safest bet as far as you want to be accurate. But
I think that's a lot harder than doing any of the other things. I think gray tones and black and white is just finding those mid-level tones and colors it's impossible for.
I think I'm a green Frankenstein monsters person. Like, I like that green just because that's what you think of, like green.
That's what I was going to say earlier. It's funny because I was just scrolling through I don't even know what it was. I was just going through some kits, and this one guy had a rant about how he's sick and tired of seeing green Frankensteins, because the only reason they did it in green was because it would look like dead flesh on the black and white, and it's no one should ever do it that way, blah blah blah. And so that's kind of like, both are right. Both are right. And no one's going to win that. It's a 100-year-old movie. Who cares?
Well, like Godzilla's gray. Godzilla's gray. Okay. Yeah. Yet if you watch some of the Godzilla movies, like Godzilla versus Mothra, not necessarily does he look totally gray. It's like almost a black green.
It's a weird color. I don't think in this, Godzilla is a really hard color to get right.
Oh yeah, and then this one here that I did
really hard color to get right.
Hold on. This one that I do keep pulling down.
I got my Godzilla right here. Look at, he's like a gray blue.
Yeah.
And it has a yellow reflection.
This is not green. This is not gray.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And I got this color off of, by the way, the reason this didn't win anything, okay? And no, it's going to go back to what we talked about. Because I did ask someone, I didn't seam the fins. Okay. So
it
now
didn't
I
get
look at this and go, when it's on the shelf, who knows that?
yeah, right. You like
Okay.
it, you look at it.
Right? Because a lot of the other seaming I did on the where the legs meet, where the arms meet, on this particular kit, I painted the mouth and then glued the mouth on and seamed it and then painted it because otherwise you'd never get in there and paint that, you know?
Right.
And so
wait,
you know,
so you got nothing for that.
nothing.
That's how
You didn't
hardcore
even-
Wonderfest used to be.
Jesus. It's not like that now because my shit got a certificate. It's nowhere near that.
So what colors? Where did you get your paint scheme for your Godzilla, Scott?
You know where I got my paint scheme? Do you remember the fuck, who made the kit now? It's a Japanese company. Maybe it was Bandai, but I don't know. And it was a 54 Godzilla where he's holding a plane and there were burnt up buildings in the background. It's a styrene kit. I still have mine.
Yeah.
Okay. And on the side of the box during the instructions, they showed the build kit and it had this color. I go, that's a cool color for Godzilla. So when I did this, that's what I was going for.
Do you remember what the color was?
I mixed this, believe it or not.
Okay.
So I started with the dark, it's the darkest green. Fuck.
Well, there's yeah. But yours
But anyway, that was my base coat. I just kept lightening it to dry brush it. And then as I got to the fins, I went lighter and lighter. And it's hard to tell in this light, but the fins are lighter. You know,
because to me, that looks gray on our screen, but I can see the green when you like move it away.
But you know, and I think I threw some gray in there, but there is a little green in there, you know.
And it depends, like what Godzilla you're painting. Godzilla 2000 is green. A lot of the other ones are not.
Again, this is the 54 Godzilla.
Yeah, that's black and white.
Black and white movie.
Black and white, right?
Okay.
So really, it shouldn't have any color, right? or blacks and grays or whatever.
You know, I also did on this. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up or not. Okay, but a lot of people. I did the white dot in the eye.
Hold on, let me. There. I was trying to switch it to the camera where it's just you, but since three of us, it won't work.
Anyway, I did the old trick, the old paint the white dot in the eye, which a lot of people still do, but a lot of people frown on that.
Yeah,
but
it depends on what
it looks all right. You know what? I'm happy with it. Could I do better now? I think I could do better now. But you know what? When people come in and see this on the shelf, okay, and they go, "Oh, you painted that? That's awesome." Okay, hey, that's cool. You know, they don't look at it and go, "What 8-year-old painted that?"
That's a good topic, though.
Well, and it also goes.
It's hard for. I think it's hard for a lot of people to make that choice.
But yeah, so it goes into buying kits as well. Okay, so what goes into buying kits? I have 70 plus Frankenstein kits in my collection. Okay, now we talked prior to coming on. You know, well, once you have what you feel is the best one, why do you need other ones? And that's a great question. Okay. Now, King Kong is my favorite character. I don't have 70 King Kong kits because there's not 70 good King Kong kits out there.
But do you just buy King Kong stuff to buy King Kong stuff?
No, I don't. And there are people that do that.
Well, so I buy Godzilla stuff to buy Godzilla stuff. Like,
yes. There are people that do that. Now, the Frankenstein stuff I buy for the most part. And this happens, and I do sell off some stuff. Is, you know, I'll look at this kit and say, "Man, this is a really cool kit. I got to have it." And then the next great one comes out, so it's like that's better than the last one, so I buy that too. Now, sometimes I'll sell the other ones and say, "Well, I have this now." For example, Yeager did a Son of Frankenstein for John Deere that Alternative Images owns now. Okay, they bought it from him. And John Tucky had done a Son of Frankenstein as well. And so I looked at the two of those. When I got the second one, I said, I like the newer one better. So I sold the other one. Okay. Now, I also have the Forbidden Zone, the 3-piece kit from Forbidden Zone. And I have one that Rotundi did years ago that I just like those. Honestly, they're not as good likenesses as the Jaegers, but I like the kits. I like, so, but you got to look at the poses and what's going on there. And, you know, so yeah, I don't know. It's a tough call on that as well. Now, when you see an original, like Tony McVeigh did his original take on the monsters. Okay. And I have no interest in that. Although sometimes I see something that makes me go, oh, that's really cool. And I will buy it.
I like a lot of the original designs for the monsters. When I see someone else do Frankenstein's monster differently, I like seeing that. Just because it's based on your own interpretation of the source. And
So you're talking about the sculpting, though, right?
yeah, I'm talking
Yes.
about sculpting.
Yeah,
Like, I
and-
like
and-
seeing
and-
original stuff.
In those cases, yes. Mhm.
So okay, so say you get an original sculpt, a different looking sculpt. Does it matter how you paint it then?
No, to me, no. That goes like, if you're trying to match the movie, then try to match the movie. If you're going original, you can do whatever you want. And I still,
and that
like,
is one of
even
the
on
nice
those
things.
originals, like, or even on the like one from the movie, you can still. It depends on what you want to do. But where? Hold on, let me.
Now, that being said, we'll keep talking while you're gone. You go. That being said, when you take something like superhero kits, okay, you can't do like Matt did with that creature. Okay, you can't just change the color of Superman's costume or something like that,
But
because that wouldn't work.
But it does. That's not true though either, because it does change in the comics. It's light blue, it's dark blue, it's black, it's white. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and if you're building that version of it, yes. Okay. If you're taking like a George Reeves Superman kit, you should paint it the traditional light blue, yellow, red,
Why? That's not the real color of the outfit, though. The real color was like a brownish maroon and
and
gray.
you could get away with that too. Absolutely. Okay. Or you could paint it in black and white. But if you were to paint it green, I'd go, are you out of your fucking mind? Okay. That's where I would draw the line. Like superheroes, it's like
I see it, and in a way, I think if somebody does their best, it doesn't matter. For me. So if I were to go into Wonderfest and there was a pink Frankenstein's monster and that person was happy as hell with what they did, I'd be like, awesome for them. Is it something I personally would buy? No. But here's the problem. No matter how well that's done, it could be a fantastic paint job. That thing will never win any awards. And I really don't think it would.
Well, George, when we had George on from the contest, he said when he runs Wonderfest, he's kind of alluded to that, is that as long as something's painted flawlessly, he would like your example, it could still win a gold, is what he said. Like, he wasn't thinking like, if you wanted to go original with it and paint your own colors, but you did an amazing job, he said it could still win a gold there at Wonderfest. So that kind of that might open it up for people to try some new stuff. This is the Frankenstein's monster I was talking about that I've printed that I really like. It's an original take on it, and it's just like a really emaciated corpse looking thing that's been brought back to life. And I like when people do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the other things that kind of goes along these lines, and this is more in the miniature stuff, but it works for this too, is I kind of like to play out in my head what the character would do, because you have these evil, horrible chaos guys, right? That are your chaos warriors that are blood for the blood god, rotting Nurgle guys. And they carry like war banners around with the army, right? With their symbols of their army on there. And you'll see guys that take those banners and paint them like Renaissance painting of scenes and things. And it's amazing. But there's no way in hell some chaos warrior of the wastelands is going to sit there and paint a Renaissance painting on a banner that they're going to war with. Like, who's the artisan of the chaos guys that sits there and goes, I'm going to paint a banner so that we can take it to war? And it's the same with the orcs. The space orcs love check marks, like checkerboard pattern. It's like one of their color schemes is they make square, like check marks on everything. And the orcs are so like they run a junkyard and they just slap things together, and however it works, they work it. Like you just like my way my studio works is if something gets bolted on here, it looks like shit, but it works. There's no way. And then you have these guys
like the paint rack you bash your head on all the time.
Everything. Like it's so slapped. They're like the slapdash junkyard. They don't know how anything works. Everything looks like just trash, but it's a truck with like plates bolted all over it. But then you'll see guys paint their check marks perfect. And I'm like, there's no way an orc is going to sit there with a ruler, line out every square so that every square is 1 inch by 1 inch, and then they paint perfect squares. There's no way to that character that would fly. There's no way an orc is going to sit there and paint perfect squares. It should be off, or it should be kind of like, it looked like they did it with a big flat brush. And so when I think about painting a character, it's like, how's that person or how's that monster? What would it look like in their environment? I don't like that. If my Beastmen army has a Renaissance painting on a banner, no goat men are going to sit there and paint that. They're just going to throw some blood on there with like their symbol and go. Like, and that's how I like to think about things based
so
in
the
world.
The orcs don't paint checkerboard, but the dorks do.
Yes, they do. They paint it perfectly. But that works. I think that's a good conversation to have. Everybody, leave your comments below. There's a lot to that, and I'd love to hear other people's opinions. We ready for emails?
Well, before we do, I got one thing I
Sure.
forgot. If I could, I wanted to thank Paul Gill. He sent me the Alex Ross Kingdom Come Superman figure. That thing is awesome, man.
Man, it's got my physique.
So yeah, this is he was cleaning out his house, and he's like, I want someone who appreciates it, and he put it in a kit that I ordered. And it's my favorite Superman. I always said if I get a tattoo
Kingdom
of
Come?
a Superman,
Alex Ross style.
that's the
You should get a
Superman
whole big
symbol.
Alex Ross back piece.
But I don't know if they make enough ink for that. Beat you to it, Scott.
Got him. All right,
my mind
emails,
goes to-
voicemails, and corrections. Do we have any corrections, Brian, from last episode?
I think so. I was dead on last time. The first time I wasn't. Last time I was rock
I
solid.
was right about everything as well. Scott,
Yeah.
did you notice anything when you watched?
No. I didn't notice a thing.
Yeah. All right, we have a voicemail from CG Blade. Brian, you want to hit play?
I am pulling her up.
Oh, I can't wait to listen to him drone on for an hour.
This is. I heard he made a special call.
How you doing? This is CG. Hey, buddy. You guys were discussing these boxes, and Jackie and I were just discussing this like 2 days ago, which is really odd. So, anyways, what I'm doing is I'm saving every box from all the kits that I've been doing over the past couple of years. And what we're going to do is we are going to take professional pictures of those. Hopefully, I can do it myself in a photo cube that I've got from exactly from the top, looking down at the top of the cover of the box, and take that and then print it out in a colored piece, and then print it on a colored paper, colored piece. And we know a lady who does quilts, and she does t-shirts and she does other stuff. And we were thinking about having a quilt made of all these pictures of these box tops. So maybe that's an idea. If you know anybody that can sew, or you know anybody that does quilts or anything like that, or does the needlepoint knitting or whatever, I don't know. Anyways, there's different ways to do it. And, maybe that's one idea. Make a nice warm quilt for those Chicago and Cleveland nights. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.
Not a bad idea. Sounds like a lot of work, though. Get that.
We should do a Model Club TV quilt.
Yeah.
So, Scott, if you were to have all the boxes of the kits that you've made, it'd just be like a white T-shirt, right?
It'd be like a fucking tarp for an infield. Okay.
But there'd be nothing on it. It's like
Oh,
a plain
I thought
white-
you meant boxes. No. Yeah, well, still the boxes too. Most of them don't have anything on it. What was the box discussion? Because I'm the first to admit I haven't totally watched the previous two episodes.
Of course. What do you do with your empty
Talentless
boxes? You keep them, throw them away. Once you've built a kit, what do you do with the box?
I would say, well, how would I know?
You just answered the question.
So
Yeah,
my plan is, and this is my plan, and like Brian does styrene kits, the Aurora boxes, I always wanted to display behind the models. Okay, just because of the nostalgia of the box art was half of the Aurora attraction in the day, you know. So on things like that, yes. On other things, in the garbage, get rid of it. It's first of all, you can never put the model back in there because it's never going to fit.
Yeah.
So why save it? Okay. Once in a while, there's been some boxes I've saved that I've gotten that I was able to like either help guys out with something. Like I had a Billiken mummy box that I traded somebody,
The
needed.
Billiken boxes are cool. That's one of the Godzilla ones I saved. I like the artwork on the Billiken.
But
box.
it's, like, and a lot of people, like John Tucky, when he sent kits, he would just put the box art in the kit because when he sent them, now when he'd sell them at a show, he'd have them glued on the box. And I got a great story about that. But otherwise, he just put it in. And yeah, it's a nice photo of the kit, but once it's built and on the shelf, I don't see any reason to save that.
What's the John Tucky box art story?
So the John Tucky box art story is the one year the caster Mike Evans was a little late. I have that kit.
of course you do.
Yeah, I've had that kit 3 different times. Like I sell it and then I say I shouldn't have sold that one.
That's cool.
So
I'm just gonna
yeah.
cut that out today.
That's 64, right?
Yeah.
So John had all his boxes made and art on them. Well, some of the pieces came late, so he had them mailed to me because John had to send stuff like 2 weeks before to get it to Wonderfest on time. So these pieces that came late, he knew I was driving, so he had them sent to me, and then I drove them up there, and we were going to put them in the kits when we got there. So he has our good friend Robert Trock helping too. And so he's like, okay, well, these need to go in these boxes, right? And we look over, and there's Robert not cutting the bottom of the box and opening it back up and putting the piece in. Right down the middle of the box, he cuts the box up. And I'm looking at him going, oh my God, Tucky's going to have a conniption. And sure enough, Tucky looked at him, what are you doing? So
I said I don't keep mine at all. Very rarely. I have the glow in the dark King Kong box. It was the repop that came out.
Mhm.
I have the glow in the dark Kong box. But the one thing I do have, and again, we talked about this last time, but the iconic scenes, the stuff that Troy does, he has those cool, they're almost like hot glued on to the top of the box. I take those off and they're almost like little mini posters. They're pretty cool.
Mhm.
That's it. That's all I have. I get rid of everything.
Well, like the extras that Mike throws in, Mike Calvert throws in, I'll save the extras and stuff. But do I need the box art particularly? No. It would be one more thing. Now, on pre-painted statues, you have to save the box art because if you ever go to sell it,
Yes, statues are a different story.
you want the box. But for model kits, I as a general rule, I would say no. Like I said, unless it's the Aurora stuff, I would like to have the glow box art and the original box art, behind it, just because of the nostalgia of it. It makes a nice display. And the box art on those, beautiful stuff.
So what do you think of the there's that guy at Wonderfest every year. He sells the repopped boxes and the fake boxes and all that sort of stuff. What do you think of that kind of stuff? I mean, I
think that stuff's awesome.
Yeah.
It's, if you can't get an original box, I mean, you can buy the box like for years until recently when Polar Lights reissued the Godzilla's go-kart, they didn't have the Godzilla license, so it was just the go-kart.
Right.
And I have a Godzilla's go-kart box from him, got the Aurora logo on it, so it's a box repop. And the reason I bought that is to put behind the model. Okay, now the other 5 Polar Lights monster rods were all named what they were supposed to be named. So I wasn't worried about it. But that particular one, Now, same with the Hunchback. The original Hunchback had 2 different versions. One had the Anthony Quinn head, one didn't. So I'll probably buy from him Hunchback boxes to go behind, because my Hunchback kit is a bell ringer kit. It says bell ringer. So I'll probably buy those 2 boxes from him at some point too.
What about the kits that don't exist though? You know, the imaginary, like,
if you're into that, I don't have a problem with it. But
it just seems weird. Like, here we are throwing boxes away, and this guy's making money selling empty boxes.
And again, it goes back to the allure of why are they're what if Aurora kits? So
right.
It's
a
lot of it you look at and go, oh yeah, that's cool.
I think it comes down, like, if you're a fan of that character, you might buy that box.
Yes.
Something, you know,
one
of those things.
Well, like the Superman kit, the original Superman had 2 box arts. One was a painting, and then one was like a out of the comic book. And I remember the first time I saw the comic book kit somewhere, I was like, what the hell is that? I didn't even know it existed. I wouldn't buy 2 Superman models just to have both boxes or anything.
Oh, okay.
You know, I would buy the repop to have it next to it just because, you know. But yeah, I don't know. As far as the imaginary stuff, it's not my thing. But yeah, some Aurora guys and stuff might like it and say, oh, this is a nice add-on to this.
Yeah, and like you said, if you like a character, I guess that would be cool if it was never made into a model, just to have that box. So
well, like I bought, I think it's Phil Sokola. I bought a Metalutin Mutant Monsters of the Movies repop that now Atlantis has, but before Atlantis had it, he had a bunch of them made. And he would send that with like in a long box Aurora what if box. Okay. And I still have it, but if someone said to me, I want one, I'd say, here you go. Okay. And I have no interest in that box. Now, if he would have done that box in the style of the Monsters of the Movies kits, I would have said, yes, cool. I would keep that because it would go with the other ones. But yeah, it's, for the most part, I would say I'm 95% of no. Okay. Saving boxes. So
we have an email.
We got
one email.
We got one email?
We have an email. It's from Raymond LeGrand again. Hi, Jason, and question mark. So it's to both of you. Jason, I am resending this email from my new provider. He's having a problem with AOL email, Scott. Maybe you should help him out. The gallery at the end of the show seems to be getting better and better. So I humbly submit with my latest build a Xanti from the 60s television show, The Outer Limits, episode entitled The Xanti Misfits. The Xantis were creepy in the show, so I hope to make the build creepy as well. In my last email, I asked if you heard anything about Phil's condition, and you and Jason replied that you hadn't. I know Phil was a big Outer Limits fan and a builder of the Outer Limits kits. So kind of as a tribute to Phil, I've submitted my latest build, which happens to be an Outer Limits kit also. Also, if you get any updates, please let us know. He animated the eyes of the Xanti with pulsating LEDs, and he sent me a link to a YouTube video. So I'm going to put that down in the description down below. And then you can find the rest of these Xanti pics in the gallery here at the end. Thanks, and keep up the good work, Raymond LeGrand. Do we have an update on Phil, Scott?
We have an update on Phil. I'm going to give as much as I'm allowed to give. Okay. I actually talked to Phil. So, he made it through the operation. So there's that.
That's good.
Little complication, but he's okay. I guess I'll let the cat out of the bag enough to tell people that the last I heard, he is opted to he's got to do some chemotherapy and some radiation. And let's hope that does well for him.
Yeah.
And let's leave it at that. I did talk to him. He wants to come on. He wants to make a video and explain everything himself. So we have to respect that and give him that. So yeah, if I'm a little vague, I know more than I'm saying. Yes, I do. But again, it's a privacy issue. And I hope I haven't given too much away. Obviously, if he's having chemo and radiation, yes, there was some cancer found. And again, if you pray, keep filling your prayers. If you send good vibes, whatever, all that,
definitely.
So
Definitely. Hang in there, Phil.
He's recovering,
Yeah.
and he's talked to a few of us, and it's when I talked to him, it was pretty shortly after, and it's hard because you feel bad for a surgery like that. I mean, it's a trauma to the head. It's head trauma.
Yeah.
So, it takes a while to recover from that. I know he's resting a lot and sleeping a lot and recovering. So, but
and I would just add,
he's been out walking with his wife and walking the dog and stuff. So,
I would just add, please leave Phil alone, maybe for a little bit after you read this. Or
that too.
Let's not.
If you really have questions,
yeah.
You can email me. You can email Jason at Model Club. He'll forward them to me.
Yeah, let's let Phil recover and not have to worry about
Don't send him 100
answering
messages.
Right. Please.
I don't even. Okay, I get all my information through a gentleman that talks to his wife almost daily, and so I talk to that gentleman about once a week and see how he's doing and stuff. So
we'll keep you posted here, and hang in there, Phil. We're pulling for you, and tough fight. We have one last email from Ken Kwilinski again. Kenneth Kwilinski. This is what he thought of when he saw the last episode, Violent Night. Brian, you do get a little David Harbour vibe there. Do you get that a lot?
Get it a lot. I really do.
You do? I would guess that's a very good likeness.
It's funny because my daughter on our Netflix accounts, you can create your own. My avatar, him from Stranger Things. So,
I totally see it. That's pretty good.
It's called sent me that. I used to get, when I didn't have the beard, I got what's his name? He's in The Whale right now. He was the caveman and
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, I got Brendan Fraser too. But I think I'm much more like David Harbour.
Yeah, I think you're very.
Now he's getting The Whale.
You're very David Harbour.
I didn't want to say it because I knew.
You didn't walk into that or anything.
Set him up.
You saw me hesitated. I didn't want to say anything, but I had to.
Scott, you get any people telling you look like somebody famous ever?
No. Neil DeConte.
You do look like me.
That is true.
I get when I had no beard, it was Pitbull nonstop, and I looked exactly. The creepiest thing to me as a kid is I looked like River Phoenix in Stand By Me, like as a kid. And when I saw him on screen, I'm like, that dude looks like me. It was so weird. And then he died, so I didn't get that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I get a lot. Oh, Fred Durst. I used to get that too. God.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't like that one.
No. All right, that's the show, guys. Any parting thoughts?
Yeah, thank God the talent is back.
The talent's back. I didn't make the announcement. We're going to do a little spin-off show with the Workbench with Brian and I. So we'll see how that goes. We'll probably do a test one of those at some point. But keep looking for that.
Turn your head to the left.
Me?
Yeah, other left. What in the fuck is on your face?
What are you talking about?
Other side.
Is on my face?
There you go.
Was there something?
Oh,
there's a piece of paper. There's a piece of sticker. It's probably been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Can't edit that out.
Nope. All right. I had paper on my face. Good job, Jason. All right. We'll see everybody next week or in 2 weeks. Maybe next week. Some of us. All right. Thanks for coming, guys. We love everybody. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye, guys.
I said goodbye. I didn't say goodbye.
Real quick, before I forget, the voicemail. 708-816-4299 and the email modelclubtv@gmail.com. And please, seriously, send us an email, send us a voicemail.
Yeah, be sure to call and let everyone know how glad you are that I'm back and that these two boring slugs are.
Imagine the bandwidth that's being sucked up now with your giant head.
Fucking A. So.
And then the email is modelclubtv@gmail.com. I'm going to put that up. And then the voicemail is also, well, I'm not going to put that up. What the?
More technical difficulties?
Are you kidding?
Here, do you want me to write it on a piece of paper and put it up?
I'm gonna have a T-shirt made with it on it. So just
Yeah, no shit. Just cue cards, whatever.
What the fuck?
Every
I don't know what's
time.
I don't know what's funnier, the fact that you are Scott. You're like, oh, here we go, here we go. Or Jay, you are so like pissed off about this at this point right now that it's like,
Yeah,
Yeah, and see, I know by poking him, it'll help him get it faster.
oh yeah, that's what it's gonna do. It's already 4:30. We were supposed to start at 4. It's not working. Just read the number. Most people have it. I put it in my cell phone so I could always call you whenever I had an inspiration.
it works. Oh, I know why it's not working.
Well, you think you'd have figured that out 5 minutes ago when you
No,
started?
okay, let me explain. If I have clicked, let me just test it to make sure I'm right.
Here we go.
Yep. So if you click the mouse on this screen, on this window, and go to push the button, it won't play. You have to have clicked off onto something else to push the button for it to work.
You think you'd remember that?
I would like to remember that, but I always forget.